Alright, so Dokkan did finally drop the EZA details for STR Super Vegeta. We also got EZA details for AGL Super Vegeta, and then LR Yamcha and Puar. I did go ahead to translate all of these here. I looked over them multiple times to make sure that everything looks good. And this is what these guys are going to do. I don't know, many people were excited for this STR Super Vegeta EZA. So we're going to go ahead and hop right in and just take a quick look. And in fact, I'm going to try and change the music real quick here. Yeah, we're going with this song right here, Short Rest Persona 5 OST. You already know I play the Persona OSTs here. So, this guy obviously mastered Evolution Pure Saiyan's Key 3 and 170% stats. 12k super attack effect, he raises defense for the turn, causes immense damage, and all attacks to become critical hits for one turn. That is just the same as pre-EZA. You see the defense raised, then obviously everything like that. This guy gets key 2 and 200% attack and defense at the start of turn. Then he guards all attacks for 5 turns from first appearance, and that's really interesting to me that he's just guarding all attacks for 5 turns from the first appearance. The only issue is that events are a lot longer now, but there are some events where guarding all attacks for the first 5 turns would, like, how to explain it, would really work out, right? You know, I feel like 5-turn guard, though, is not really as great as it used to be, unfortunately. Plus, an additional attack and defense plus 100% when performing a super attack, right? So that was buffed, I think, from 50% in the past. Then he gets another 50% attack and defense up to 100% with each super attack before him. So this is also another multiplicative buff right there. Before, this didn't even exist, right? Before his EZA, he did not have this extra 50% attack and defense up to 100% on super attacks. So that's also new. Then this stays the same, actually. 50% attack and defense within the same turn after he receives an attack. They didn't actually really change that. That just stays the exact same as it was pre-EZA. Then he gets this extra part of his passive as well. He gets an additional 50% attack and defense, guards all attacks, and then launches an additional super attack within the same turn after he receives an attack, if there is an enemy whose name includes Cell. Then he stuns enemy attack by this character's super attack. Now, keep in mind, when it comes to STR Super Vegeta, his active skill or everything like that will not actually change. His active skill is going to stay the exact same, but the cell restriction, just like as he has on his active skill, does not, from what I heard, activate against Cell Max specifically. Unfortunately, it's just Cell characters. It does not activate against Cell Max. Characters such as Cell Jr. is excluded, like included in there. But that is everything with this STR Super Vegeta. I've seen some comments. Some people are actually disappointed. I think this guy looks like he'll be good. Overall, do I think he's gonna be better good? I think he'll be good. Do I think he's as good as Kefla? No. Just looking at the details, I do not think he'll be as good as Kefla is, but he's still gonna be pretty good. And you know, I could see this guy actually be useful in the Cell Max boss event. He has the guard for the first 5 turns. It's just like, you know, this doesn't activate against Cell Max for some reason, and he'd be like insane in that fight, but I don't know, for some reason, I just have no idea. It feels like this guy is like designed in mind for the Cell Max fight, because Cell Max can be stunned, I think, from either turn 6 or turn 7. So like you just float this guy off right before his guard's gonna end. Like on his 5th turn, you float this guy off. He comes back around. He has to stun with the super attack right here, and he just stuns and doesn't receive hits anyways. This guy's not really going to be that great in Gogeta. I think he'll still be good in the Beast Gohan fight. I think that'll be a good fight for him. Probably still good in the Sword Hope Trunks fight as well. But yeah, I don't know. I think there's a character I want to see in game, because he's purely stats with this guard. It's going to be interesting to see how high his stats go again. He does have a lot of stats in his, like, you know, EZA, right? He does gain a lot of really helpful and good stats. So we'll see here. Let me actually bring up Halvard. I'm sure Halvard did some calculations that maybe we could take a look at, and he did do some calculations here. Let's see. So just some quick little look here. After receiving the attack, he's at 1.1 mil defense right here with a additional super attack right there. Okay. Without support, he's under a million with guard. With this full build up, he's I mean, this defense stat isn't necessarily too special for sure. With support and the cell enemy, he's looking interesting, but I feel like usually you'll likely see a scenario like this, like full build up, and then like even after he receives the attack, he has to take that first hit. I don't know. We'll see how good he is. I think offensively he could look very strong though. That's a good thing. And then with the crits, well, I wouldn't say it's ideal, but like they usually try to balance these characters out. I don't think there's gonna be an easy. I'm really like going crazy over though personally. Let me know what you guys are thinking though. But yeah, again right here, he's gonna have to take a non-guard hurt to get it right. So that's really funny. Here's AGL Super Vegeta right here. This guy actually is interesting, right? My biggest thing that I hate about this guy right now is that they didn't change his super attack effect. His super attack effect is, well, they did change it. They added one thing. They added a seal to his super attack effect, which again is actually good for the Cell Max fight, funny enough. He's AGL as well, but like this is attack race for 9 turns, and they didn't add defense. They just kept it as an attack race for 9 turns, which I think is crazy. And like how stupid it is. That's crazy. They not add a defense race there. I don't know what they're thinking, but they were like, nah, no defense race for you, buddy. It's like, okay, well, you know, it is what it is. He gets 150% attack and defense, then 100% attack and defense on super, and if your HP is 50% or below, he performs a guaranteed crit. Sure, right. Launches an additional attack that has a great chance to be on the super attack. I mean, this is where the interesting part of his kit, I think, starts. 30% reduction, and then depending on your HP, he can get up to 90%. Oh wait, yeah, it's 90%. So reduces damage received by additional 20% when HP is 70% or below at the start of turn. And then if HP is 50% or below at the start of turn, it's another 20%. Then if HP is 30% or below, it's another 20%. So if you're under 30% HP, you have 90% reduction. If you're at the turn under 50% HP, you have 70% reduction. And then if you enter the turn under 70% HP, you have 50% reduction. So, I mean, this guy under 50% HP, post super attack, and he's also supporting all allies key 1 and 25% attack and defense. Then AGL STR physical types also get key 2 and 25% attack and defense. So he's providing 50% support. Like under 50%, he could potentially be like I'm thinking of him in the Cell Max fight. Could he eat a super? I think for sure, right? With 70% reduction. 70% is a lot of damage reduction. He has a multiplicative buff here. And then in that situation, maybe it's like, oh, okay, you know, well, that's why they didn't give him this. And he's also sealing anyways. I honestly think he's going to be good for the Cell Max fight. I think he's actually going to be like a genuinely good option for that Cell Max boss fight. Because it's just one phase STR. And he seals, which you could sell Cell Max to turn 4. So actually, I see a very good use for this guy. So I'm actually not disappointed in his EZA. They should have added, my opinion, take off this additional, add defense here, and then he'd be crazy good. Actually, he could be crazy good, but I like that he has a purpose and a role, if you guys get what I mean. Now, LR, Yamcha, and Puar here. So this meme right here is funny. Okay, so actually they're not that bad themselves. 12 key super, raise attack and defense for 1 turn, colossal damage and lowers defense. 18 key, raise attack and defense for the turn, mega colossal damage and massive lowers defense. Get key 5 start of turn, 150% attack and defense on super, and then another 100% if it's on ultra super, which I think is pretty nice, right? Pretty nice multiplicative buffs overall. Doesn't really get anything start of turn though necessarily, but let's wait and see. So it gets an additional attack that has a high chance to be a super. Then he gets another additional attack which has a high chance to be a super if there's a join forces category ally attacking in the same turn. Then if there's a Pepigal's enemy, he gets 150% defense and he stuns himself, so he doesn't actually attack, which is funny because he's not going to get any of this buff and he's not going to get this, so his defense is just worse. Like, even though this defense 150% is like useless, right? Because he's going to stun himself and not going to get most of his stats. But if there's no Pepigal's category enemy, he gives himself 3 key, 150% attack, and a high chance to dodge, which I do like. You know, him giving himself that chance to dodge, I think is pretty helpful. But again, right here, you can see when there's no Pepigal's enemy, he gets the 3 key, then 150% attack, and that actually will be, again, a start of turn. So that's 150% attack. Then he gets 250% on super right here. He actually might do some pretty decent damage because he can quad super, right? If you have a joint forces rotation, he could do 4 super attacks, which I think is interesting for sure. He's not bad. He's not bad at all. I think this Puar and Yamcha. The only issue with Puar and Yamcha is links. I mean, their links, it just sucks, right? Let me see. Can I bring up Yamcha here, and then we could find LR, Yamcha, and Puar? Like, who are you gonna link them with? This guy needs EZA. I would guess. But this guy wants a Pepiko's unit on rotation for his card, though. That sucks. I mean, Bulma he could work with, I guess. I mean, it's gonna be weird. It's not the worst ever. Pat Packet Goku's team, but like that team is not really that great anymore. It's just that the issue with Yamcha and Puar is that they don't have a home. I think right now it's the biggest issue with them. But and you also need to get a joint forces character as well, so that's another thing. But I guess to be fair, this additional attack, this extra additional, it's not that big of a deal. You would ideally like to get it, but I actually don't think it's going to be something that makes or break the character either way. But it seems like people do think he's different, like, you know, not different, but like, you know, okay. But that is everything here. Let me know what you guys are thinking. I'm going to end the video. I'm going to get this uploaded right away, and I'll catch you guys next time.